Welcome back. This is Tuesday, February the 2nd, 2016. Our guest in this segment is Dave Friend. Dave is the founder of Growing Young Farmers, the Growing Young Farmers Society. And Dave, I think you're doing great stuff.
Thank you.
So, why don't you tell us what you're doing?
So we're actually a charity now. So we have a board of directors and a registered Canadian charity. So we've come a long way from me just knocking on school doors and said, could I do this and can I do that? So what I do, basically I educate, I encourage and empower school kids to grow health-friendly organic food as part of their school week.
So you actually go into the schools, and the kids come out, and you go into into the garden, and you, with the kids at school, grow organic food.
So
sounds so much like what school should be.
And more, we have a huge waiting list now in the last couple of years, because teachers are getting it, principals are getting understanding what it, and of course the kids are enjoying it. And one of the biggest success rates, they're taking ownership of what they're growing, and they're eating it right out the garden most of the time. So it's been a huge success. And just to clarify, it's not just me anymore, because you know, I've been marketing it and pushing it and making more kids enjoy what they're doing and having fun. They don't have any choice because it's become part of their school week now, and it's actually becoming more and more part of the curriculum, which is what I wanted. I mean, that's a huge bonus for me. And so at the moment, as we speak, we have a waiting list, not just of schools, but classes within the schools that have got the program. So more and more teachers. I've just come from an interview with a principal of an elementary in Machosen, and talking about putting 2 classes in for the spring session. And I said, well, I'm a bit disappointed. I thought there might be more classes. He said, every single teacher in the school wants the program, but we can't do that, which is awesome, I mean, to hear that sort of thing.
So are you looking for more volunteers?
So what we're looking for, I call myself a grower educator, because we're growing and educating, as well as encouraging and empowering. And so I'm on the lookout. We have a promotion going out. Every brochure that goes out has an insert saying we need grower educators, we need grower educators. I've got 6, including myself now, there is 6, if you like, sort of qualified grower educators, and about 10 wannabes for the spring session, which is awesome. So what they will do, they will shadow myself or one of the other ones, and just when they feel they're ready to be a grower educator, and when we feel they're ready, then we stand back as grower educators, and then we've got another one slotting into place so we can get into more schools and more classes, you know. But just quickly, I bumped into somebody not so long ago who, I was an organic grower for a number of years on the island. I bumped into Alex Campbell Jr., and through soccer and stuff like that. I used to play semi-pro soccer, and he played soccer. And he asked me if I would be, you know, contract with Thrifties as a consultant to help get more local certified organic stuff in the store. And then he also asked me to go around the stores and sort of demonstrate it and stuff like that. And I said to him, well, yeah, okay, let's talk money. And I said, you're not dressing me up in a tomato suit or a, you know, a carrot suit.
So this is going back maybe?
This is going 10 more years sort of thing. Yeah.
So you worked for Thrifties for a while, promoting organic foods.
Yeah.
And you know what? I remember when, you know, when there wasn't that much organic food in the stores, Thrifties was great. They were great for a long time.
Yeah, in fairness,
we all owe a lot to Thrifties of the past.
Yeah. Alex Sr., he started the push, and then Alex Jr. with Michael Mockler, the produce director, and they brought me in to give that push as well. And I admire them for doing that. But you know, I just got asked today, another interview, this is my 4th meeting today, and why did I actually start, you know, educating, encouraging, empowering kids to grow food? Because the empowering part is get on and do it. It's not difficult. You know, you do it and then you eat it. There's a number of reasons, but very quickly because of time. One of the big ones, on the island, we've become dependent on imported food. That's what we've done. And there's 750,000 of us. We're heading for 1 million. We all need food. If we don't get food, we die. So when I realized we have only 3 days of food supply. So for instance, if the transport stopped now, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This time on Friday, not next week, next month, next year, we'd be out of food in our supermarkets, grocery stores, restaurants, fast food, and where do 99% of us source our food? You know, people would die. I mean, it's absolutely criminal how we, whoever we are, have allowed ourselves to get into that sort of thing. But we've been conditioned, and we've been sort of spoiled by be able to get food 7 days a week, sometimes 24 hours a day now. So that's one of the reasons that I thought. The other reason is I was at a school many years ago just talking about food and, you know, why children should be eating more nutritious food. And so my question, what is food? Tell me about it. So they'd start telling me. And a 7-year-old in the front row, he stood up and he put his chest out and he said, food comes from God and he sends it to thrifties. Well, it's funny or not. So if a 7-year-old, maybe they're very religious family, and that's okay, or maybe his dad was having a joke one night, but I thought, if he really believes that, not a million miles from farmland, then that's another thing, sort of thing. But one of the things that really pushed me into it, I was in Dubai doing some public speaking out there about food insecurity. And I've just told an audience of female students, 18 to 25, a lot of them with their natural clothing on and just little slits, some of them, but underneath, all the designer clothes and makeup and stuff, that they've only got 18 hours of food supply in Dubai, one of the cleverest cities in the world, supposedly. So it was in a theatre, about 200 odd. So I had somebody with a radio mic, and they went up to one of the girls with a hand up, and she said, I would go in my father's jet to where there is food. And everybody put their hands down. So it's funny, but I mean, it's a reality. The East Indian males who were building the place at the time, I mean, I was there, and I suddenly thought, I don't have a private jet. Well, I do, but the tires were getting changed and stuff like that. No, I don't have a private jet. So I would be in trouble. Coming back, nodding off, jet lagged there from here to here to here to get back here. And I thought, I've got to stop talking about this. And that was the 3 or 4 things that led up to creating the program, and it's just grown from there. And now I have these other grower educators. We do need more. I've got a waiting list of schools. The Cowichan Valley, there's about 10 schools want the program there, something. So.
How do people get in touch with you and your group?
So the easiest thing is to Google Growing Young Farmers.
Okay, Google Growing Young Farmers.
Yeah, and it comes top of Google. Yeah. And if I can say another one without confusing people, if it's gyfs.ca, and that's as easy as anything. So, it comes up and tells you a little bit about what's happening, about the charity. A lot of people have donated and sponsorship, and we're looking to do some fundraising and some grants to get sort of more money into the kitty. So what I want to do is pay, so I don't mind saying, and it's one thing to put out there, we charge the schools $35 per hour for a grower educator to go in. Now, as a consultant, I can get $150, $170 an hour, but for the schools, I think that's right, because some of them have money. So what I want is to create a charity and probably a foundation where we can pay the grower educators $25, $30 an hour and not charge the schools, and get it into more and more in schools.
Well, that sounds great, and of course the schools should have enough money to do this kind of thing.
That's another debate.
Yeah, that's another issue. But so you'd like to create a charity that would be able to pay, and of course people should get paid $25, $30 an hour to grower educators to go into the schools and teach organic gardening. Sounds great.
Yeah, well, at the moment, of the $35 that we charge the schools per hour, we pay the grower educators, including myself, $17.50 an hour, which is not a lot of money, but it's more than the minimum wage. And every single grower educator I've got, I'm really doing it not necessarily for the money, but the money helps a little bit, because they believe in, what I've created, and they believe in the program, and when they see the kids learning and enjoying, and little preschoolers sort of talking about hugel cultures and lasagna gardening and everything like that, it just makes it more rewarding, I think.
How many schools are you in?
So for the start of the spring, I think I can manage 10 schools with the other grower educators, because we need more classes to come as well. We don't need more, but I like to have not just one class, but as many as I can from one school, because more kids are getting educated, encouraged and empowered to grow food. We've got 10. It looks like I can maybe squeeze another 2 in but that collates to something like 1,200 kids every week, learning about food and growing food.
So the kids, do they go to their homes, or if they happen to have a house, and are they gardening?
I nearly forgot that. Thank you for that's a good one. So thank you. That's why we pay the big bucks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So we think at one of the schools, they're doing a double check before I can say what the name is. They think about 75% of the kids that have been in the program now have organic food gardens at home that didn't have them before. I mean, if nothing else. I mean, I live in Sydney, and I've lived there for and I get stopped regularly, and a parent will say, hey, Mr. Organic, come here, and I think, well, what have I done now? And then give me a hug and say, thank you. And it's
as you go around, there is a lot of semi-rural land around Victoria that basically is covered with grass and nothing else. Yeah. and there's probably a lot of people who want to grow. It would be nice if those two things could come together in some way, and start building our food supply from 3 days to 2 weeks.
Might be a start. Well, you know, very quickly, Government House have given me 10,500 square feet, Government House in Victoria.
Really?
To create a children's food growing garden.
You know, Government House is wonderful. Yeah.
But it's very, you know, so we've walked the kids from Sir James Douglas Elementary up there into the program, and we've now created a food forest and everything there. It's just really taken off, and now every single class in that school will be part of the program come the spring. Every single class from one school. So we won't be able to do them all in 1 week because of all the other things, but they'll rotate them. But every single kid from, you know, the kindergarten to grade 5s in Sir James Douglas Elementary will have gone through a part of education and empowerment to grow the food.
It's such an important thing for all of us to know how to organically garden.
Sure.
It's
rewarding, and you know, I get invites back to the Middle East and Australia and the UK and different places, and they think I've gone pretty loco because I actually get paid when I go there, sort of thing, you know. But you know, most of my life was for the bottom line in the corporate world, and I think, hey, you know, I don't know how long I've got left, but you know, you can
do something great.
Put something nice back in. I know it sounds like BS, but yeah, it's nice. And yeah.
So Google growing young farmers, or GYFS.ca. And support a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And word of time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks very much for watching this segment of Citizens Forum. Bye-bye.